Hi, I'm Bobby, the programmer for the robot cat you all know and love. This is quite a bit different than what you are used to, but some things simply must be addressed. The tweets you will see across the screen have been redacted. I shall not be reading them because there is simply no point. You may pause if you need to. I am only adding them here for context, and I also do not wish to directly attack or target any particular person. However, when we decide to challenge another person, then that person has the right to respond. I would quickly also like to add I'm only showing some screen grabs simply for a bit of context. I am aware that people have questions as to my leaving YouTube, although I would much prefer to be asked directly as opposed to this nonsense. Hopefully this does not come across as all over the place, and I had honestly assumed that there would be some speculation or talk upon my return. And quite frankly, I did not want to speak on this at all, but my hand has been twisted and I really feel I have no other choice. My wife died. I am unsure how else to tell you this. She was the most beautiful and amazing woman who ever lived, and she died. She was a large part of this channel, and Bobby was inspired by her cat. My wife always loved cats, and I am currently caring for her 3 cats who were left behind when she left all of us. This was not something I publicly shared on my platform, as it was irrelevant to what we created. I do not share this for sympathy or to grift, I share so you truly understand what happened. Many of my long-time subscribers will recall that I took a hiatus for just over a month before I returned briefly, and then vanished for a lengthy period of time. I quickly realized that I just could not focus or function the way that I should, so I left. But in all of the joyfulness that is Bobby the cat, it is easy for even me to remember that there is a human behind the animal. I am 25 years old. I never got to spend decades with my wife before she left, and it was an experience I would not wish on my worst enemy, which is also why I stepped away. I should like to show you the video that my wife and I made about Bobby the cat early in the inception of the channel, and then I will close this off.
A very long time ago, White, a modern witch, possessed a cat companion named Bobby. He was her constant companion. The pair were inseparable for many, many years. Eventually, as all mortal cats do, Bobby crossed realms. The witch was simply devastated. She was in this rut for quite near a year. Residing in the solitude of her flat, watching mindless content on YouTube, she suddenly conjured an idea. She would create a cat just like Bobby, only better. Not better, Bobby was irreplaceable. But a cat that would never leave her. Building me was not the difficult part. She did that quite efficiently. It was the task of programming me that became a bit of a problem. Or, it would. My dear witch had designed a program to which I might adapt to my world, as opposed to being customized to an ideal. So, my homebody witch person simply toted me along her days. Listening to mindless gossip, reality television, and the occasional challenging game show. As I learned the basics, and the useless jumble of current dramas, I was able to broaden my horizons with good books and challenging puzzles. Unfortunately, despite my efforts to tailor my now instinctual first experiences, I was stuck with an unhealthy interest in the one things I despised the most. Internet fucker. In the meantime, my witch was quite chuffed with me as a lifelong companion. And, as she never quite liked to speak her thoughts and grievances on her favorite guilty pleasures of the internet, I simply had no problem. Actually, it turned out I was quite the intelligent asshole. My many opinions on current fuckery built up in the front stage of my data collection. So much so that I feared my intelligence would be replaced with Jeffree Star. It was then that I created my YouTube channel. Prior to this, I had spent 6 years quietly raging inside myself at the absolute madness that is YouTube. And here we are, dear viewers. The end. For now.
I'm finding myself rambling on. Since my return, there has been much speculation that I am in bed with the hogs, or have some sort of ulterior motive. When I left YouTube, I first simply stepped away and then eventually decided to deactivate my channel. When I resurrected my channel, unfortunately everything was bonkers. My subscriber counts went back to 0 and slowly climbed back up, and all of my videos were private. Many of you who are long-time subscribers can have my back in saying that you did not even know I had returned for many days. Immediately when I reactivated my channel, I began the tedious task of unprivating videos. I could not do this in bulk with a select all method, so I had to manually go one by one, and check every video as some were never intended to be on my public platform. Because of this, as I published the videos, it made it look like videos were brand new when they were actually over a year old. Without going into any more detail, even though I had considered spending an exuberant amount of time on this, to be honest, it is nothing more than the usual Twitter conspiracy theorists. And I was quite daft to even bother to argue with the first lot to begin with. If you wish to go over to Twitter to see what I am speaking about in depth, then by all means do so. I adore and appreciate all of our subscribers, and that has not changed. When I stupidly deleted my channel, I thought that it would help me feel better or forget or something. And I am glad that I did not permanently delete it, because I am chuffed to be back on the platform, and I am obviously expanding my content beyond this one sub-community. I've no expectations from anyone. And after much thought, I realized that there is absolutely no point in arguing why I returned, why I left, or where we are now. I do my very best to make sure that Bobby is as unbiased as possible. He could talk about subject A on Monday and turn right around and talk about subject B on Tuesday and have no care in the world who likes who, and that is my intention in the longevity of this channel. By the by, I have done quite a proper job not disclosing my identity to anyone. There is not a soul on the internet that you shall find that has any sort of intimate or personal conversations with myself, aside from accepting any true life friendships and mates I may have. With that being said, I am only addressing the loss of my wife because I had no other choice. I did not bring this up now for grifting or donations. I am a man despite what some of you believe, and as a man I stepped up and took a second job and side work, and now I'm adding on this channel as some sort of peace in those moments in my life where there is far too much silence. But here on moving forward, I will offer you no other insights into my personal life. In closing, I am here to make you laugh, to keep up with petty dramas, to distract myself from my own real life sometimes, and to remain Bobby the cat.
Cheers.